Philip, has been kind of strange the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been different. I mean, you never expect to have your career end like that, and you know, it's been disappointing. But you know, I had to kind of step back from football and look at my future, not just playing hopefully at the next level, but even just trying to go throughout life without having a hip replacement. So you know, it was something I needed to get done, and Coach Chiswick did a great job of making it clear that my body and my health is more important than winning a couple more football games, and he's been very supportive with it. But yeah, it's been a pretty crazy month for me.
Did you have to have a hip replacement? What was the injury?
I tore my labrum, and I had 3 bone spurs in there, and so whenever I was running or walking, I could feel the labrum catching on the bone spurs and tearing a little bit each time, and it's something I've been dealing with since well, almost a year now. So the doctors pretty much said that if I didn't get it fixed and I kept playing on it, then the bones were rubbing together, and I probably would have had to have a hip replacement before I was, say, 25 or 30. So hopefully this makes me not have to have one until I'm, hopefully never, but until I'm older.
Did they tell you that you should be fine to continue on playing once you've done the rehab and everything?
Yeah, they said since it wasn't that much bone work, since they really just shaved the bone and didn't have to drill into it at all, that I should be back. It's usually about a 3-month rehab, and so I mean, I'm in here rehabbing every day, so I'm hopefully, in my mind, hopefully going to be back for, say, a Senior Bowl type game, or definitely the combine.
Is it your left hip?
Yes.
And when you said it was about a year, do you know when you actually did it, or was it just kind of something that built up?
The first time I felt it was 2 days last fall on the new turf in there, and I just it locked up on me, and I felt it kind of click a little bit, and then it just just went downhill from there. Certain positions, say like my 3-point stance, I could feel it a lot when I was squatted down, and just like I said, just always clicked a lot, and I could feel it catching, and it just got to the point where I could tell in my strength and in my speed that it had declined a lot, and it was just really frustrating as a player, because you never want to admit that something like that is hindering you and making you not play to your full potential. And I just realized that CJ and Brandon could probably do a lot better than I was doing at that point in the season, and I think that showed with CJ having a big game, and Brandon's been blocking really well. So, and Bird just been catching the ball too. So, you know, it was hard to do, but I knew it was best for me and best for the team.
When did you finally say, okay, I gotta stop?
The week before the LSU game, we tried to put a shot in there to get it to calm down, and it didn't really work at all. So the next couple games, I think it was the Ole Miss game, I knew something wasn't right. And then the week of practice, going into, I guess it was Vanderbilt, yeah, that Wednesday it popped really bad again in practice, and then we went and saw the Dr. Emblem in Birmingham at St. Vincent's, and he said that he could tell I was in a lot of pain and that we just needed to go ahead and get it scoped out. So I got it scoped out the following Wednesday.
How far were you below full speed for most of this season while you were playing?
I don't know. I'd say I can't really put a percentage on it. I just knew it wasn't feeling right, and I wasn't staying on blocks like I had my sophomore and my junior year, and getting out of cuts in my route running, I could tell I felt slow, and just when I was watching film, I could really tell that week going into Vanderbilt, and like I said, I can't really put a percentage on it. I just knew I wasn't playing as best as I had been the past couple of years.
What does the rehab entail?
Right now, since I'm only 2 weeks out, it's a lot of range of motion and resistance kind of banding. But I just got my stitches out, so in the next couple of days I'll be in the underwater treadmill running and walking, and probably swimming a little bit, and then I should be hopefully able to jog in a month and a half or 2 months.
Just normal trainers that you're working with, or is there like a specialist that?
Well, we have a rehab guy, Mr. Dave, and he was the one who helped me with my shoulder too when I had surgery, and I got back in 3.5 months instead of 6 months with that. So like I said, I'm really optimistic. He's one of the best in the conference with rehab. So I'm just in there every day trying to get it right.
Despite the way it ended, when you look back at your career, just kind of talk about how you feel.
Oh man, you know, one of the best decisions I made in my life thus far was deciding to come to Auburn, and I know I went through a lot sticking with, or a lot of hard times when Coach Tuberville got fired and trying to wait to see what coaches they were going to bring in, but in my heart I knew I wanted to come to Auburn regardless, and you know, if they would have brought in like a triple option type offense, I probably would have tried to go somewhere else, but I just knew that this is where my heart was set, and I just really enjoy the school and the people here, and I've just been blessed with the opportunity to play here and have the career that I had in 3.5 years, and I got to play as a freshman, contributed a lot on a national championship team, got to play with a Heisman winner and Nick Fairley, and just made so many good friendships here, and friendships that will last throughout my life, I think, and just like I said, I've been blessed with the opportunity to play here and have a solid career.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the memories that you'll take from this play specifically? I'm sure there's a lot of fond ones.
Yeah, scoring my first touchdown against Mississippi State my freshman year will be one that's always in my mind. National championship year, just coming back from so many deficits, 3 or 4 games where we were down by 12, 13, 14 points, and coming back, that was really just a dream season, and I got 3 rings from that, so that's pretty awesome too. My favorite play from that year was when Cody scored in the national championship. That was awesome, just because his story was awesome, and I was just glad that he got the opportunity to finally get in the end zone, and just the uncertainty from last year and winning 8 games with a team that no one really thought we could do much, and then that was probably one of my proudest years here, being a part of that, and then this year, you know, coming back at, like I said, I never really would have expected it to end like this, to be on a team that had only won 1 game when I went out for the year, and then getting hurt. You know, it's not what you expect when you come back, but I know that God has a plan for me, and I'll be all right in whatever I end up doing. So just like I said, I'm thankful for the opportunity to have played here.
You've become something of a Twitter star, and obviously a favorite of Auburn people. I mean, do you feel that when you're out and about?
I do. Me and my dad were at dinner Friday night. He came into town, and we were eating at Bloodhounds downtown, and we were just sitting there eating, and a lady probably in her 50s came up and just told me thank you for everything that I'd done at Auburn. And you know, to me, it's just I played football, and I tried to live the right way and live how my parents raised me, to put others first, and you know, it was very humbling and just awesome for someone to come up and say that to me. And you know, it's tough. It's crazy that it's ending. This week's been pretty tough on me so far, just because it's Georgia and being from Georgia, and I don't know. I don't want to get too emotional, but I'm happy to be a Tiger.
How much will you miss competing in that game?
A lot. Those are my rivals, my buddies over there, playing for Georgia, and it's going to be tough being on the sidelines for that one. I got so many good friendships on that team, and the guys who play for Auburn, who are recruited from Georgia and from Georgia, you know, we're all share a close bond. So I'm just going to have to be as supportive as I can, and I might still be the most fired up guy on that field, even though I'll be on the sidelines, and I'm just excited to root my guys on.
You mentioned that the senior year has been tough in terms of keeping your blocks and not being 100%. How important will that Senior Bowl and NFL Combine, the stuff after the season, be as you try to continue your career?
I think for me, the most important thing right now is to make sure I get back to 100%. And you know, like I said, it's my goal to be playing in one of those games come late January. But if I'm only 95%, I'm gonna have to say no to it. And and just make sure I'm 100%, because I think teams have seen what I can do, and I'm sure there's some teams that have already kind of located me and where I'm at and like me. So if I'm not 100%, then I just got to look forward to hopefully the combine and then pro day to show them what I can do.
As you said, you've been around for a while, teams know you, know what you can do. What are your expectations as you move forward into the draft? Have you started thinking about where you may be taken?
I don't know. It's funny, people come up and they're like, what team do you want to play for? And you really don't get a choice of it at all. So I'm just going to work as hard as I can. I know last year I was projected as somewhere in the mid rounds. I wouldn't expect that to have changed at all, or probably lower, or I mean later in the draft probably, since I'm hurt and everything. But even if I don't get drafted, I'm going to try to make a squad regardless, and just see what happens.
Talking about putting others first and cheering your team on, was it ever a question for you to not come back and after the surgery? I mean, you were on the sidelines, a couple of days after the surgery, to come back and just do whatever you can for this team. How important is that?
No, that is very important. This team, we're in a tough spot, and just being out there at practice and supporting them and trying to coach up some of the younger guys at tight end is very important to me. Because like I said, I owe a lot to Auburn. Auburn doesn't owe anything to me, and if that's the only thing I can do right now is to be supportive of these guys and try to help them out, then that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I didn't go to the Texas A&M game because I had just had surgery, and it killed me to watch it from TV. I was yelling, and it was just frustrating. So it's much better for me to be out there and be as close to the action as I can, just to kind of keep me positive and keep me involved with football.
You were mentioning your memories. You didn't mention the winning touchdown against Alabama. Is that and the little dance? I guess that'll stick with you.
I try to forget the dance part. Seems to keep getting brought up every day. Yeah, I mean, that was a special moment too. At the time, I didn't really think I understood the whole meaning of that and what it meant to everyone. But as I've gotten older and as my career has come to an end, I realized how special that moment was, and how much a dagger it was into the heart of those people over in Tuscaloosa. So hopefully we can get another win in the next night, this coming up Iron Bowl.
You talked about some of the good times, but you also faced a lot of adversity. I mean, in 2010, there was a lot of people throwing questions at you that you maybe couldn't answer, didn't know about the whole camp stuff and everything else. I mean, through that all, you showed up and you kept showing up and kept answering questions. How important is that to you to be up front and just to see what you kind of get with you?
I mean, we try to take it day by day, and in 2010 with all that controversy, I think we all knew that we recruited the right way and we did everything the right way, and so you try to just be as honest and upfront with everyone as you can. I mean, there's some things you can't go about saying, but you just got to come here every day and just take care of your own business. And
I mean, the reason I ask that is because of all the stuff that you have done off the field. It really seems like if you've been the mouthpiece for this team since even when you were a sophomore and a junior. How important is that to been to show up and say, hey, I'm still going to show up in good times and bad times and talk to the media and do the things that I know I'm supposed to do?
I mean, I think that's just me as a person and how I was raised. You can't just, when times are bad, just shut it down and try to block yourself from the rest of the world. And then when times are good, on the opposite end, you can't just showboat and gloat and be acting a completely different person. And I've always tried to keep even keel on the field. When we're going through highs or we're going through lows, I try to stay the same emotionally, and I try to carry that over into my life as well. And like I said, when it comes down to it, it's just a game. I don't think you should ever let it change who you are as a person and what you believe in. But it's an important game, so I can see why people would let that happen to them. But like I said, I just try to keep somewhere in the middle between the highs and the lows and everything that I do.
Coach Bolver talked about the difference between playing hurt and being injured, and how much did that kind of mindset and that message get across to you over the past almost 2 years of being hurt and your decision not to maybe do a surgery earlier?
I think Coach Bowler did a great job of trying to get me through the weeks over my career. I mean, I've been dinged up a pretty good bit over my career with my shoulder and my hip, and he's done a good job of sticking up for me and telling the other coaches on the staff that he's not 100% and we need to get him as close to that as we can by game time. And you know, playing injured is, I mean, playing hurt, if you're hurt, you just got to play through it, unless it's like a concussion or something. You shouldn't do that, but you got to have it in your mind that you're going to be able to, you'll be all right after the game. You can take a couple days off. I mean, Sunday, Monday, they're pretty much days off for players, so being injured is just different. I didn't consider myself injured until, you know, I couldn't go full speed anymore, and that was the hardest thing to come to realization, was that I was injured and I couldn't just keep playing, and Coach Bohr made me understand that there's a difference between the two.
When you invest as much as you have into this program, Philip, and you get so tight with the head coach, you know, in your position coach as well, how difficult is it to see the criticism that's been put on this staff right now?
It's tough. I mean, like you said, the relationships are so close. Me being a senior, I've been with these guys since they came in, and Coach Chiswick and I have been close. I was the first guy he came and visited when he first got the job, so it's tough to see. You know, we're giving it our best effort. We have great game plans going in, and you know, some of the time the ball just hasn't been bouncing our way, and that's tough. You know, teams are gonna have seasons like this regardless of where you're at. It's just how it is. There's highs and lows, and you know, it's tough to see the criticism going on, but you know, we're not winning games, so that's what happens when you're not winning games, and you know, I think Coach Chiswick is doing a great job of just taking it week by week and getting our team ready to play the next game and having a short memory. So you know, especially going into this game, I think it's a rivalry game. It's Georgia-Auburn, the Deep South's oldest rivalry, so you never know what can happen. Just like in the Iron Bowl, you never know what can happen. So you know, I think we'll be able to block out the criticism and just get ready for this rivalry game.